from the Long Island Comic Con, presenting my friend from his own, what's the name again? Bitter Apple?
Bitten Apple TV.
That's right, we are on Bitten Apple TV. Take a bite out of that, America.
I love it. We're here with Rodney Ramos.
That's right, the other Ramos.
The one and only Ramos that counts.
It's the other white meat, as I like to call it. You know how it is.
Wow, I'm a little stuck right now. Thank you for that.
Well, you know, I have like profound respect to you because you look like Snoop Dogg. And so, you know, Snoop Dogg is a badass motherfucker, and so are you.
Ooh, good.
You gotta
like
sell that.
That was a good cover. All right.
Badass motherfucker.
So, what brings you to the barn today?
The barn. Well, I was following these chickens that were running around. I don't know what the hell was going on.
So you're looking for a free meal?
Breakfast this morning. I'm like, they're shitting eggs out. I'm like, that's okay. It's got to be a way to.
Okay. Wow, I'm kind of stuck now.
I'm here to the barn because Greg, who runs the show, invited me. Oh, please don't take pictures. Okay, it's all right. I lost my train of thought. All right, are you gonna edit that out? Start again.
That's what we're opening with. You said you were here for Greg.
I'm here for Greg. Greg invited me. I came to the show, and now I'm traumatized. Look at how traumatized I am.
Well, not many good stories start off in a barn.
Yeah, it's suspicious because it's all made of wood and I'm worried it's gonna burn down while I'm in it. Is there lightning outside right now?
Not yet, but there will be soon.
Oh my. So, back to our questions. What were you saying again?
What brought you to the barn?
Greg brought me to the barn. He invited me out to the show, so I came. Decided to be the guest of his show. That's right, the guest of his show. Yes, it's glorious, it's wonderful. Don't you enjoy it too?
Well, I have to admit, you were one of the first we saw when I walked in.
You had the eagle eye.
Yes, sir.
Just like, you know, that, what's the old G.I. Joe toy with the eagle eye? No, wait, was that eagle eye? Yes, the eagle eye. No. The G.I. Joe where you could look it through the back of his head. Like, and he has the eagle eye.
Give me a second. Periscope.
Yeah, the Periscope. The Bionic Man too had the Bionic Man had the eye. You could look through the back of his head, which is always suspicious as a toy. Like, what guy sat there as a toy designer and said, yeah, you know, it'd be really cool to look through the back of his head. That would be really cool.
It is an interesting selling point. Not many toys that do that.
It's also, you wonder what kind of wonderful psychedelics he took to come up with that idea. You know, it'd be really good. I think kids would enjoy looking through the back of his head, right into his eye.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I've lost him right now. He's like, he just went on a rant, told some kid off. People taking no.
Well, technically, you didn't tell the kid off. You told off his father, which is okay by society.
Picture the art. Yeah, I'm on camera saying that. Got to come off as the fucked up weirdo. There we go.
Well, no, you're here for a reason. You don't want them just mooching off you.
It's not mooching. It's a lot of respect. You know what I'm saying? Father, they're doing it again. They send Joey to take care of it. Make sure he gives them the special treatment, if you know what I mean.
All right, well, let me ask you an actual artist question. From artist to artist.
Now we're getting serious.
Because I posted this question earlier to another artist. What do you prefer, digital or traditional with pen and paper?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's all going the way of digital anyway. But, you know, it's important to do art on paper. You don't want to lose that skill. One of the funniest things I always hear from artists that are digital, and they always do that bit where they're working traditionally, and they make a mistake, and they reach for the Alt-Delete button, and it's not there. And they're like, oh, right, I'm working on paper. You know what I mean? They're sitting there, they're still thinking digitally, and they're looking for the easy way out to correct the art. I should have been paying attention because you screwed that up, didn't you?
Look, I can't lie. I have tried to zoom in on actual photographs from time to time. Like, It's a picture.
You're sitting there drawing and you're trying to pinch up on a piece of paper. That doesn't go over well.
No. With pen and paper, when I'm drawing, I'm in my world. I know it's pen and paper.
Right. And then
But if you was to hand me a photograph, I would try to.
You would. No, but it's the same thing. If you're sitting there drawing and then you try to zoom in on the paper, you're like, wait a minute. That's right, I'm drawing on paper. What the hell am I doing? That's the same thing. You're trying to zoom in or zoom out, and you're like, oh, right. And you still have the pencil in the other hand and you're doing this? That's a bad sign.
You have to disconnect from time to time. I personally, I enjoy the digital. I see the benefits of digital. But
look, the next generation of kids, they're on iPads, they're on whatever. At some point, the tactileness of doing anything on paper is going to be a waste of their time. But the sad thing is like, you got a lot of guys that are digital. You got guys like Yannick Paquette, you got guys like Mike McCone, and the only thing now that they'll print out and ink is the cover, because maybe they can sell the cover. They can, But a lot of that's lost. If you draw on a great page digitally, and somebody wants to get it, they no longer can buy that page. So there's something getting lost there in translation.
I feel the digital, while I see the convenience of digital, it's killing the nostalgic feeling of holding something in your hand. And not to sound corporate, but it kills the resale.
That's a sad thing.
How am I supposed to pass a digital picture on to my children?
That's why original art pages now are going up in value, because people are aware that that whole digital thing is slowly taking over. I mean, there are guys now that still print pages out, and they do. They know having the original makes a big difference. You can scan it in, you can make your adjustments again on, and then you can send it off. And a lot of guys now, sometimes what they do also is they'll do the layouts digitally. They'll print that out and ink over that. There's still people that understand the value of actually. They're merging the both worlds because they're realizing they're losing. It's hard enough doing comic book pages, and the amount of time of detail you got to put in pages for you to eliminate the original art part of it, which can help your income. It's hard to survive as an artist. So the few dollars you can make on selling original art, but there are a lot of guys that skip that and they'll go straight to just doing commissions all day long, every day. I mean, these guys are machines. But still, you have to produce that art. You gotta, if you're smart, you'll make a sketchbook out of some of these things. But it's the way it is. It's 10 years from now, the kids coming up in the art schools now, they'll be working off of iPads, they'll be working off their Cintiqs, they'll be working off of whatever. The technology is getting cheaper to be portable. And it'll make more sense. You don't want to sit there gridding out a perspective on a building 10 times. When you go digitally, well, I can do this a lot easier by putting these lines down. I have to worry about them being straight or it not being in perspective. I got the grid going on underneath it.
I see the digital kind of makes us a little lazy. I personally prefer
there is a laziness, but I know guys that they know how to, like, take McCone for instance. There's a thing called SketchUp, and in SketchUp there are people that have already drawn out models of like maybe a TIE fighter. You're not going to be drawing that TIE fighter. You're drawing that TIE fighter 100 times. That's going to drive you crazy. But if you have the SketchUp version and then you could rotate it and just drop it in, it's going to save you time, because a lot of these books are on deadlines anyway. And it's difficult when you got to get a book out on time, if you got to worry about doing that TIE fighter the right way, and a little, God forbid, if it's a battle scene, it's like 10 of them in the scene. It'd be easier just to drop it in, and to save yourself that time. And that's what it's going to come down to. A lot more books get more detailed, more complicated, because you can do these things quicker digitally, as opposed to traditionally.
Well, I mean, it does the convenience of having every color under the rainbow on your iPad compared to a duffel bag full of Copic markers.
Right. But still,
financially, it comes out cheaper.
I got to tell you something. There are guys that still. Go look at a Mark Brooks doing a Copic piece for a cover or something, and my God, they're incredible. They're mind-blowing. It's as though he did them in Photoshop, but he did them all with Copics by hand. And there is something to be said about that. It's like developing that skill, that ability to be able to do that at that level.
Yeah.
That sets the bar to that guy down below that sits, I'm going to do a Mark. Oh, no. You get, to get Mark's level, you got to be on the money all the time. And
Exercise, you gotta practice.
mind you, when he does need to get a piece out, he'll do it in black and white.
Right.
And he'll do it in tone. And then he'll throw it in Photoshop. And it's easier for him to lay down the color because the tone's all there. You see, so he has this ability to sit on the fence between the traditional and the fine art, and he can do it either way. That's the crazy thing about it. He can do that same piece he did in Photoshop by hand. And then there's guys like Andy Granoff. You see him do a piece, it's gorgeous, and it does all his covers traditionally.
Okay.
And at the same time, if he needs to get something done quickly, he could do a gray tone or something, throw it into the computer, and then digitally change those into colors, and it'll be beautiful. It's just amazing. And a lot of guys now at that level that are doing it. The only guy that I know, I'm not 100% sure, but Alex Ross is the only one that does everything by hand.
Okay.
And I mean, like, wow. You know, he's on that level, like, and he understands the value, like having the original piece, he can sell it for so much money, and then he can make, yeah, $1,500, more than that.
I've seen it.
He's in a.
Before we wrap this up,
Yeah.
any advice for the younger crowd out there?
Well, you know, understand now that the global talent, you're competing with guys around the world now. You got kids in the Philippines, kids in Brazil, kids in Spain, kids in Italy, and they're all chomping at the bit. And now you have to up your game. You have to up your game that by the time you get in, you have to be a pro. Literally, you have a couple of guys like that too. They're so ready, they're already ready to go in. So you have to be working twice as hard to get twice as good, because the competition's stiffer now. It's not back in the day where you can go into Marvel and they give you a chance to grow with your style. If you're raw, a lot of guys, like you look at the stuff that was done back then, a lot of guys were getting in there. They were getting lucky, they were getting in. And now that no longer happens because it's that much harder. You gotta be that much better.
Yep. Okay.
And you gotta put the time in. You gotta put the time in, make mistakes, but draw all the time.
All right.
Everything. Pages.
Last bit. Where can we find you on social media and whatnot?
Find me on Instagram better. Rodney Ramos comic book artist. You can find me on Facebook. And Instagram is where I'm usually.
Okay.
Instagram, I think, is the medium for everybody now. Everybody loves Instagram. You can put a link in the bio, put a store link in the bio. You can go beyond. I don't know. I mean, I think on Instagram there is no limit to the amount of people that were. Not like on Facebook. If you have a regular page, you only go to 5,000. You can get a fan page, but you know there's so many restrictions now on the algorithms. Instagram's not the same thing, and Instagram's not as angry. A lot of people post on Instagram, just to support their art, but it's never the same thing on Twitter. Twitter seems always like a battle, like a war. And then Facebook, the same thing about it. But Instagram seems like the happy-go-lucky place.
Okay.
Where everybody posts their art and they show all happy things, and I think that's the place to be right now. So find me on Instagram. That's the happy place.
All right, everybody. We see y'all on the next bite. Thank you for watching.
Next bite. Don't get bitten.